Oh my goodness. Good morning. See, I'm not doing a morning coffee this morning. We're in the wait. It's a morning coffee, but good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh my God, how's it? I changed my time because I was on a phone call and then I lost the call. So I decided just to come on in and do this. So I was watching. Hi, Mr. Jimenez. Hi, Wisco Gal. So last night, I was watching ID Discovery, okay? And I forgot Miss Heidi stick permanently with that intro. You like it? Okay. Good morning, Mustang Sally. I like that one too. I really, really like that one as well. I'm gonna have to download that one so I can keep it. So I was watching ID Discovery last night, and on ID Discovery, it was scary people. And it was a couple of other ones that came on, but the one with Judy Bunano struck me. And I remember reading about this case a while back. So I said, okay, I got up, I started doing some research on it, and I was like, I knew who this woman was. Okay. So for all of you guys, she is the original black, well, besides the one in the 1940s. She is the Black Widow. Hi, Wendy's Front Yard. Hi, Chantel. So before we get into it, I found a news station that was talking about the new documentary that was going to be done on the story of her life. And then we're going to get into the crimes that she committed. Okay? We will get into the crimes that she committed. Hi, Ghostface. Good morning. So I found this. Let's listen to this.
Juana. Braille Brown spoke with Alex Hawkins, who is the grandson of a woman Braille who is known as the Black Widow.
Judy Boanyuano was executed in 1998 for killing 3 men, including her 2 husbands and her son, all for insurance money. But her grandson Alex says he wants the world to know about her good deeds and how genuine she was before she died.
Truly, she was a kind woman.
No, she
Even
wasn't.
though she killed many men, she had her kindness to the people that she loved.
No, she didn't.
But she also had that side to her where she loved you, but she was going to kill you. Simple as that.
Before being caught in her own web, the Black Widow killed 3 victims in the state of Florida and Colorado.
And there was a
in
fourth
12-year
one
span.
She was
that she
tried
was
in
never
Santa Rosa
charged
County
with.
for the killing of her son Michael.
Yep, the
And she
1930s. I
was
said 1940s.
convicted in Orange County for the murder of her first husband, James Goodyear. Escambia County for the bombing
this is
of
her
John
grandson.
Gentry.
Okay, of course he's gonna say good things about grandma. Okay, he gonna say good things about grandma. But let's talk about grandma. Let me get you a pic of Judy and her first husband, James. Okay, this woman is, yeah, she's something else. But we're gonna go into Judy and her first husband. Here's a picture of Judy and her first husband, James. Okay. Now, Judy was born in Pensacola, Florida. Her name was Judeas. She was named after her mother. Okay. She was born Judeas Welty on April 4th, 1943. Her childhood, it was a lot of instability. Her mother died when she was just 4 years old. And Judy and her younger brother was sent to live with her grandparents. After her father remarried, she went to live with him and her stepmother in New Mexico. Hi, Chantel. Why am I not seeing Sassy? Hi, Sassy. I'm not. Hi, Sassy Susie. Oh my God, Sassy, I meant to call you. I'm so sorry. Hi, Sassy Susie. Good morning. I meant to call you, and I know you said you were getting ready to do a sale, but I meant to call you, and I will. Hi, Lady Red. Good morning. Good morning. So, after her mother died, she went to live with her dad and her stepmother in New Mexico. Okay, she claimed that she was abused by her father and stepmother. At the age of 14, she was jailed for 2 months for attacking her father and her stepmother. After her release, she graduated from a reform school and became a nurse's assistant. Oh, you've been busy? Okay. So after she graduated, she became pregnant at the age of 17. Okay. She had her son, Michael. He was born in 1961. Today, Michael would have been 64 years old. And his biological father was not a part of his life, not at all. But then she met James Goodyear. That's the picture you see. That's James Goodyear, and he's holding Michael. There go Judy. Look at her. Don't she look happy? She looks happy. So James Goodyear was an Air Force sergeant. He and Judy began their relationship in 1962. They got married. He adopted and raised Michael as his own son. They had 2 more kids. They had a son and a daughter. Okay. They relocated to Orlando, Florida. And James was assigned to McCoy Air Force Base. He served a year in Vietnam, and he returned to the States in 1971. Less than 5 months after returning home, James Goodyear was dead. He was dead. What? He had become really ill when he returned home. He had, the doctors didn't know what to think. James died on September 16th, 1971. The doctors couldn't figure out what was going on. He rapidly declined. And they called that natural causes. They said his death was natural causes. Judy received $20,000 in life insurance payments. Okay? And she did over $60,000 in veterans benefits. Girl, you got your first taste of murder. You go head on. Now, I couldn't find a picture of Bobby. Okay? I couldn't find a picture of Bobby. I looked and looked and looked. Shortly after James died, she relocated to Pensacola, Florida. And she began dating Bobby Morris in 1977. So it wasn't shortly after. It's like 6 years, a good 6 years. Then Bobby moved to Colorado. And Judy and the 3 kids followed him there. They were there for a couple of years. When Bobby started experiencing the same symptoms as James. He had nausea, he had vomiting, fever, hallucinations. Hi, Queen of O'Hara. So Bobby started experiencing those same symptoms. He went to the hospital. He was released. When he went home, his symptoms got worse. He went back to the hospital, and he died a few days later. His cause of death was ruled a heart attack. She had 3 separate life insurance policies on Bobby. She had taken 3 life insurance policies out on him. After Bobby died, she went back to Pensacola and she changed her name to Bonanno, which is corrupt Spanish for Goodyear. So she didn't want to be Goodyear anymore. She just changed her name. Okay? She legally changed it. Then her son Michael. Let me show you a picture of her son Michael. Let me get to my images. And here is Michael. That's her son Michael. Okay? Michael he joined the Air Force, and he worked in the water treatment facility. Well, he joined the Army. He was at Fort Benning in Georgia, which is a really nice base, huge base. So when he was traveling to Fort Benning, he visited Judy in Pensacola. After he arrived at Fort Benning, Michael became very ill. They didn't know what it was. When they tested him, he had toxic levels of arsenic in his blood. And they were thinking because he worked at the water treatment facility, which had arsenic and everything there, they thought he got exposed to it when he was there. So his muscles got so weak that he had to put on 15-pound leg braces to help him walk. So because of that, he was discharged from the Army. And he went back to his mother's home. You know, the loving woman she is. In May of 1980, Judy decided she's going to take Michael out on the canoe. It was Michael, her son, James, and they went on a canoeing trip in Florida's East River. She decided to take a lawn chair and put in this canoe and try to strap it down so that Michael was able to enjoy that ride. Well, during that trip, the canoe capsized. The canoe capsized. Judy decides to go and find James, who was named after his father. She gets and finds James. Knowing Michael had these braces on his legs, she never tried to save Michael. They swam the shore. Michael was weighted down by those leg braces, and he drowned. Again, Judy got life insurance money, and this time she used it to open a beauty salon. I'm so sorry. I can't with this woman. So she done offed her son Michael, okay? She done took Michael out. Her son, she took him out. So then we meet John Gentry, okay? John Wesley Gentry. This is John Wesley Gentry. I'm going to show you. This is John Wesley Gentry right here. There he is. Hey, John, how you doing? Okay, let me show you what she did to John. Let me find this image. Hold on. I have it. I think I called it car bomb. Yep, that's what I called it. Okay, they couldn't add the image for the car bomb. Why? Why? Hold on. Let me try to grab that image again. Well, I'll just share it with you because I thought I had added the image. Let me just share my screen. This is the car bomb right here. That's John Gentry's car. Yeah, it capsized. That's John Gentry's car. Okay? That is the car. Car bombed. That's his car. So she met him after Michael's death in 1982. John is a Florida businessman. They got engaged. Judy convinced him that it would be a good idea for them to take out life insurance policies on each other. He agreed. Judy would stand to collect more than $500,000 in the event of Gentry's death. He had no reason to be suspicious. Wait a minute. You done killed your husband, your boyfriend, and your son accidentally drowned. Right. But you don't have any reason to be suspicious of this woman. So she told him that, let me tell you why. She told him that her first husband had been killed in Vietnam. She said her common law husband, Bobby Morris, had died of alcoholism. He had no idea about these men being sick and dying. So in 1982, now she met him. She met him in 1982, beginning of 1982. By late 1982, he came down with a cold. She insisted he take vitamin C capsules to treat it. His condition worsened. He was admitted in the hospital in December 1982. He was suffering from extreme nausea and vomiting. Now, I would think in 1982, doctors should be able to test, but they have to know to test for it. They just don't automatically test for arson, okay? They just don't. So while he was in the hospital, because he wasn't taking those vitamin C tablets, his condition improved. After he recovered, he went home. While he was home, she started giving him his special vitamin C capsules again. He started the nausea and the vomiting again. In 1983, so the arson wasn't killing him. She said, fuck this. Let me just blow up his damn car. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. Let me just blow up his damn car. Okay? So, John went to the liquor store. He got in his car and turned the key and boom. He was injured. And he spent time recovering. But this is what led to Judy being investigated. They were already suspicious about her son. Okay? They were already suspicious about her son. Then this accident happens. Whoo! So after that car bombing, Judy was on that short list of potential suspects, okay? The investigators started looking into her past. They noticed that there were some disturbing patterns with the death of James Goodyear, Bobby Morris, and they determined that, and they had determined it to be natural causes. But both men had been admitted to the hospital with nausea and vomiting prior to their deaths. Then the authorities learned about John Gentry's experience with the same unexplained symptoms. He was interviewed. He was telling them about the vitamin C capsules. They took the vitamin C capsules, sent them to the lab for testing, and it came back positive for traces of arsenic and parformaldehyde. Parformaldehyde. That's what it's called. I'm reading it. Paraformaldehyde. It came back positive for that poisoning. So it was later then revealed that during the same time Gentry was severely ill, Judy was telling her friends that Gentry had terminal cancer. Hi, brown-eyed cutie. That he had terminal cancer. That's what she began telling her friends and their associates. Gentry was sick. He had terminal cancer. So the investigators go, wait a minute. This don't look good. They said, I got a feeling this bitch is killing everybody. So they decided to exhume Goodyear and Morris, Bobby Morris, James Goodyear, the first husband, and the boyfriend. They exhumed them. They also exhumed her son, Michael. Okay? The remains of all of them contains traces of arsenic in their system. Now, the medical examiner said since James had died in 1971, he thought his body would be disintegrated. But because he had so much arsenic in his system, his body was well preserved. They found out that Bobby Joe had died as a result of arsenic poisoning. Her son Michael had arsenic in his system as well. Remember, on his way to Fort Benning, he stopped to see his mother in Pensacola, Florida. When he got to Fort Benning, he got sick. It was because of his own mother that this man was in these 15-pound leg braces. Okay? It was because of her. Now, right before her execution, she did all kinds of appeals. Okay? Let me get what Judy looked like at this time. There's Judy. Look at her. Ain't she a lovely woman? Hi, Aesops. Hi, Aesops. Good morning. There's Judy. So in 1984, she went on trial for the murder of her son, Michael, the murder of her husband, James, and the attempted murder of John Gentry. They didn't charge her with the murder in Colorado of Bobby Morris. Okay? The prosecutors presented several witnesses discussing how to murder someone by adding arsenic to their food. They remember Judy telling them how to do this. Really? You knew this woman was doing this and you didn't do anything to stop her? So two of her friends, Beverly Owens and Londell Morris, testified that Judy confided in them that she had murdered her first husband, James Goodyear. She had collected just about $250,000 from all of these life insurance policies for Michael, Bobby, and James. If Gentry would have died, she would have collected another $500,000 if the police hadn't caught her. Because let me tell you, that explosion didn't kill him. The arsenic didn't kill him. But she was going to try something else because she wanted, that's the way she, every time she got money, she started buying things. She was buying salons. She bought a little store. And this is crazy. She was using this money to live the good life. Now, she was found guilty in 1984 of trying to kill Bobby Morris. I mean, not Bobby. Yeah, no. Gentry. She was found guilty for trying to kill Gentry. She was sentenced to 12 years. She was found guilty of the murder of her son, Michael, and sentenced to life in prison. She was found guilty of first-degree murder of her husband, James, and she was sentenced to death. To death. So while they presume that she killed Bobby, the authorities in Colorado declined to charge her because she had already been sentenced to death. And it'll be a waste of taxpayers' money. And it's the truth. It'll be a waste. She was also a suspect in 2 other deaths. One in Alabama in 1974, and the suspicious death of her other boyfriend in 1980. So we're talking 5 men here. 5. She tried to kill a 6th. 5 men. The motive for her crime, we can all say it was greed. Greed. It was the Pensacola prosecutor, Russell Edgar, that called her the Black Widow. He said she's like the Black Widow because she feeds on her mate and her young. She filed several appeals. They were all denied. On March 30th, 1998, Judy was given her last meal of steamed broccoli, asparagus, strawberries, and hot tea. She was then brought to the electric chair just after 7 a.m. and asked if she had any last words. This bitch said, no, sir. Not, I'm sorry. Not, please forgive me for killing my son, my husband, my boyfriend, attempting to kill my fiance. And oh, by the way, I did kill Bobby, but since I'm dying, let's just get it over with. This bitch said she had no last words. And the reason I am doing this story, because everybody thinks that Eileen Wuornos was the first woman executed in Florida. Judy was the first woman to be executed in Florida since 1848. So there was, I forgot her name before Judy, then Eileen. Hi, Miss Sweet Tooth J. So there is going to be a docuseries on her. I think you guys might want to watch, or you can watch ID Discovery, because they actually did a really good story on her. But I wanted to bring you the facts of what happened. They go through the whole car bombing scenario and how he crawled out the car. And right before then, he had been in the hospital That didn't kill him. He had gone to the liquor store, turned the key. Oh, and the way they knew she did it, because when they started searching her home, they found the wires that was attached to the bomb in her home. She's not a smart criminal, but she's a dead criminal now. And we can only say, thank the cops for taking a look at her, for realizing what she did. But my problem is she killed her son. She poisoned her son for life insurance and his veterans benefits. And I'm just like, are you kidding? I'm going to tell you right now, my sons still have me on their insurance policies. Now, when my son got divorced the first time, everything was changed over to me because of the kids. When he got married the second time, it was split between, well, I had 60% because of the kids. The wife had 40%. He's married and it still stays the same. My middle son, same thing. Mommy is on his policy. You think I'm going to K my sons? Hi, Corns, Mom. Do you think I'm going to K my son? This bitch was living off life insurance policies. So this popped up yesterday, and I want to show you this. So the wife of the Weezer bassist was shot. The reason she was shot is because she turned the gun on the police. I'm going to show you this video. She's not dead. She was just shot. Okay? Let's just take a look at this. And Amber is going live today on Rumble at 11:15 my time, 12:15 her time, 1:15 Central, 2:15 Eastern. That's the way it goes. She said, I saw that was set. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at her on the ground. But I wanted to tell you that story of the Black Widow. That's another story that I need to tell you too, but I need to get all the details and then I'll bring that.
Shot and wounded and taken into custody during a police investigation. A woman shot and wounded and taken into custody during a police investigation in Eagle Rock has now been identified as Jillian Schreiner, the wife of Weezer bassist Scott Schreiner. The arrest came after a dramatic chain of events, including the manhunt for multiple suspects following a freeway hit-and-run crash.
Sandra Mitchell live in Eagle Rock with the latest on what happened. Sandra.
Micah, that's the house just behind us where the shooting happened, just outside. A really strange set of circumstances. And now the rock star's wife has been booked for attempted murder. New cell phone video tonight shows Jillian Schreiner on the ground with a gunshot wound, then being cuffed and taken into police custody.
It's a little crazy. I think they're just trying to come on aggressive.
Neighbors on Eagle Vista Drive in Eagle Rock reacting to the LAPD shooting and arrest of the 51-year-old wife of a Weezer band member, Scott Schreiner, after police activity nearby on the 134 freeway.
5 helicopters, lots of police activity, sirens. It was unsettling. I mean, it doesn't happen here very often, if at all. So. Yeah, it was strange. It was a strange day.
It was strange. 3 suspects Tuesday being chased by police ran into the Eagle Rock neighborhood. The LAPD says Schreiner, who was not involved in the chase, came out of her home with a gun. The officers ordered Schreiner to drop the handgun numerous times. Instead, they say she pointed the weapon at officers and they opened fire. Schreiner was shot in the shoulder but not seriously injured. Neighbors took cover from the chaos.
I got my kids that we went into a place in the house where it's away from anywhere near a backyard.
Are you kidding me?
where they could come through.
Although police are not saying if Schreiner fired her weapon, she now has been charged with attempted murder. Scott Schreiner arrived home tonight but told us, "I can't talk to you right now." All right, so we know that none of the LAPD officers were injured in that incident, but they tell us they did recover a 9mm handgun at the scene. By the way, 2 of the 3 suspects that were involved in that original hit and run on the 134 freeway got away. The other one in custody. We're live tonight in Eagle Rock. I'm Sandra Mitchell, KTLA.
Okay, I'm done. She turned the gun on the police. Now, what the fuck? What the fuck? I smell a divorce that she won't get shit. Yes. They shot her in the shoulder. It doesn't look like they really hurt her. It's a flesh wound. It had been a man. They would have killed him dead. Really? They haven't done music in a long... He looked like he was just performing because he looks older. And let me give you a little synopsis of what's going on with Lori Vallow. And we're going to go straight to News Nation because you know why? I like how she breaks this down. I watched this shit yesterday. Well, I listened to most of it yesterday. And the judge was getting so pissed off with Lori Vallow. It wasn't even funny. She is off the charts. But let's listen.
When I thought I might get through day 3 of Lori Vallow's murder trial without my hair being enfuego, along came Lori
when I saw this,
to crush my dream.
Wait a minute. When I saw this, I'm like, oh my God. She was feeling the same way because I'm serious. My notes are all over the place. And I have my tablet right here. My ink ran out, so I have notes in my pencil. I'm showing you guys like you can see the shit I have in my hand. So she broke this down. Here we go.
The thrice convicted murderer put on quite a show in Arizona today. Remember, she's on trial for the murder of her 4th husband. And make no mistake, she has practiced at the art of being on trial. She already killed 2 of her kids. And for good measure, she killed the woman who was married to the guy she was sleeping with. The guy that she ended up marrying just weeks later. Today, while acting as her own lawyer, don't get me started, she played the role of jilted spouse while cross-examining a witness who turned out to be her romantic rival. And hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
Prayers for your mom and your hubby.
It got so bad in this courtroom that the judge had to step in and play referee and even make up like a bogus reason to get the jury the heck out of the room. Where do I even begin? Listening to Lori in court today,
this is crazy.
You would think that Charles Vallow was the love of her life instead of the man that she was trash talking while texting with her lover and allegedly arranging for her brother to murder.
Now, she kept saying the evidence will show, the evidence will show, the evidence will show. I'm like, girl, we've heard about the evidence. We heard about it during the first trial. The evidence that if I would have took a drink every time she said the evidence would show, I'd have been passed out even to now. I would still be knocked out.
So a little bit of background on what happened just in the front of that courtroom today. The woman on the witness stand wearing the pink there, that is Nancy Jo Hancock. And it turned out that Nancy had struck up an online relationship with Lori's husband. Mm-hmm. That's Charles Vallow, the victim, the dead man in this case. And the night before Charles was killed by Lori's brother, Alex, Charles went on a date with that lady in the pink, Nancy.
Yep. See, but she forgets to tell Lori that she and Charles were not together at that time. They weren't together.
Has been making plenty of mistakes during her cross-examinations, but she's mostly kept her cool. And she's mostly stuck to the script. But not today. Not in a million years today. All hell broke loose when Nancy Jo took the stand and things went from 0 to Jerry Springer in seconds flat. And because I knew you would ask, I've put together the highlights,
Let's go.
the lowlights, and pay attention to Lori's body language. And then count how often she calls Charles, the man she's cheating on, my husband.
Nancy Jo, right?
Correct.
And we have not met before, correct?
We have not.
Okay. And you stated that your husband, or my husband, told you that he was going through a divorce. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And did you have any way to verify that?
No, I didn't try to verify that.
Okay. So did it surprise you later to find out that we were not in the process of a divorce?
Charles was in the process of a divorce.
Yes, he was.
He was not in the process
Yes,
of a divorce.
he was.
Did it surprise you to find that out?
Yes, he was.
You've seen it all on TV where we're not getting divorced.
Okay.
No, because you were going to kill him. Charles
So
was.
on the website that you met him, did he say he was divorced?
Okay. Charles said he was changing his beneficiary. Charles was going to get a divorce. You just killed him before he can do it. Let's be honest here. Hi, Snuggle.
I'm not certain.
Would you have gone on a date with him if he would have said he was married?
If I would have realized how married he still was, maybe not. But
They weren't living together.
I just met for dinner. I wasn't sleeping with him or anything.
Do you go on dates with married men?
Oh my God.
Naturally?
Argumentative. And I'm going to also object under 611 for harassment.
All
That's
right.
what it is.
I'll sustain the objection.
Your Honor, do I not have a right to cross-examine this witness for what she has already testified to?
You can cross-examine her about what she's testified to.
So you did go on a date with a married man,
I went on a date with Charles.
but you did not know he was married.
I knew his divorce was not final.
His divorce was not started.
Oh my
Okay.
God. She's arguing with this woman.
So in your text messages, you asked Charles if he was a good kisser. Is that correct?
Maybe, sure.
Did he answer that text message?
I'm
I
sure.
object to
I'm sure he did.
relevance. Again, 611 harassment.
I'll sustain the objection for relevance and hearsay.
Hi, Crafty.
So are you trying to tell
So,
me?
you see, this is in line with Black Widow because we have Lori Vallow, who's a Black Widow, and she also K'd her son, her son and her daughter, okay? It goes right along with it. So I need to add her picture to that as well.
And this jury
Yeah, she's jealous.
that you went on one date with my husband
My husband.
and he told you all the details of our lives.
I'm telling you the truth, and that's what I know.
So you spent your whole date getting to know each other, talking about me.
Don't flatter yourself. No, we did not spend the whole time talking about you.
I forgot she said, don't flatter yourself. She came back with it. This shit was funny.
Date, you talked about my husband was a life insurance salesman, is that correct?
I knew he did something with money and insurance, but I really didn't know the details of what he did for work. Like I
Exactly.
said,
She forgets she was dating Chad and Chad was married. So I was waiting for her to shoot that back at her, but she didn't. She didn't.
Don't ask the details about what someone does for work when I'm trying to get to know someone.
But you knew that he sold life insurance, you stated that.
I believe that I had a vague understanding that he did something with insurance.
And then he brought that up again at dinner.
No, we didn't talk about his work at dinner.
I thought you said you did talk about, and correct me if I'm wrong, you said you did talk about that he changed the life insurance policy at dinner.
Well, you were asking me if we talked about that he sold insurance, which that didn't happen. But yes, he did tell me that he changed the beneficiary of his life insurance policy at dinner.
Did he tell you how much his life insurance policy was for?
Yes, he did.
What did he say?
$1 million.
Did he tell you how much my life insurance policy was for?
I do not recall.
You don't recall?
We didn't talk about you very much in that vein.
Oops.
When did you talk to him about me very much then? If it wasn't at dinner, was it in your text messages?
We were talking about what he was going through in the process of separating from you, not about what your life insurance policy was worth. And we talked about you on the phone, and when I say you, meaning what he was doing as he was going through this separation.
So let me understand. You were dating some different men on this website, right?
Oh my God.
From the websites.
Sure.
Would you say it was common for men to be talking so much about their supposed ex-wives?
Yes. When I met the man, he was in the middle of going through a divorce, and we had a long discussion when we decided that we wanted to go further with the relationship. So I knew everything that he had done, what she had done. That way no one can come to me and tell me anything at all about Clint, because he told me everything himself. So yes, those are conversations that you have if you really want to have a relationship. Lori.
During their conversations with a potential...
It's actually very common.
Thank you.
Really?
Very common.
Interesting.
And again, Your Honor, I'm going to object to the defendant making comments after her questions.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I won't do that again.
All right, please stop.
I'll just ask the questions.
Thank you.
You testified a minute ago that Charles told you a lot of things about his wife. You didn't say ex-wife, but you said wife. Is that correct?
Okay, sure.
What were a lot of things?
The things that I've testified to.
Can you be more specific?
Am I allowed to do a narrative then?
Let's go on sidebar. I'll excuse the jury for just a few minutes because we're having technical difficulty with the court reporter.
That
being able
woman
to-
can't
The last
stand
question the
looking
defendant
at her.
asked of the witness was along the lines of, what things did you discuss about me, meaning the defendant? Is that correct?
That's what
Yes.
I recall, Your Honor.
Are you sure you wanted to answer that question? Because you're opening up a really big door. If you want her to answer the question, I'll have her answer the question.
How am I supposed to know what a lot of things are?
It doesn't matter.
All right. If you want her to answer the question and there's no objection from the state, we'll bring the jury back in and have her answer the question.
Yeah, Lori, like if you want her to answer the question about the things that she and your now dead husband talked about, they might have talked about the fact that you're a murderer.
Yeah.
Maybe? I don't know. I mean, the
Or the
murders
fact
did
that
happen
you were trying
later.
to kill
but
him.
Holy cow. Lori, you're not a lawyer. You might ask
No,
a
but I
question
can
that could
play that
really
one.
come
Hi,
back to bite you in
Muggsy.
the thing you keep showing the jury.
I can play that
I don't
one.
have any idea if there were really technical difficulties that the judge mentioned with the court reporter, but it seemed like he had to make up a fib just to get that jury out
Hold
of the
on.
room and fast
me go
and
to
protect
Charles
Lori
Vallow.
from herself. And while there's
I
no
don't
way to
remember
know
them
what
playing that
Lori
yesterday.
did during that little unplanned recess, I'm going to go ahead and assume that she conferred with her actual lawyers who sit there on standby.
Hold on, let
and
me
that they
look.
told her to
I
get
don't
over
remember
herself.
them playing that
Because after the break,
yesterday.
Lori pulled it together. Same attitude, but a lot more direct in her
Okay.
questions.
Okay.
Have you ever
I
spoken
have
to
it
my
up
brother
after
Adam?
she finishes. I have Charles Vallow up.
Yes, but only
Muggsy,
because I ran
how are
into him
you,
at my
sweetie?
grandson's pickleball tournament the other day.
And how did you know that was him?
Because I've seen him on media via the situation surrounding you.
So you initiated a conversation with him?
I just said hi, and he asked me who my grandson was, and I pointed it out, and that was the end of it.
So you introduced yourself to him? To my brother?
I don't know that I introduced myself, but maybe.
How would he know who you were?
I don't know that he knew who I was. I knew who he was.
So you went up and talked to him?
I did talk with him, yes.
He didn't call you over, so you went up and talked to him?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And when you were talking to him, you told him you were who?
I told him that my name was Nancy Jo Hancock.
And did he recognize that name from something?
Can I go back and change how I met your brother? I forgot this until right now. So on a dating app, your brother's picture came up on my dating app. And I sent him a message and said, but he had a different name that he used, not Adam. And so I just sent him a message and said if he was going to use someone else's pictures, he should probably pick someone different than Adam Cox.
So the brother was on the dating website.
Met him.
That's how you met my brother, Adam?
Correct.
Do you know what perjury is?
Absolutely.
I object, Your Honor. Argumentative, harassment.
Argumentative.
Man, I'm surprised there weren't more objections. I'm going to stop here and bring in two people who might as well have been at a
So let's just, okay, let's just stop that one there. She is a jealous wife that found out that her husband wasn't pining away for her. He was planning on divorcing her. Hi, Texas girl. He changed his life insurance policy to his sister because that crackpot was trying to kill him. Here is Charles Vallow.
So what's going on tonight? Brian?
2 days.
Okay.
But she's lost her mind. I don't know how else to say it. We're LDS. She thinks she's a resurrected being and a God and member of the 144,000. She's come. Jesus is coming next year. She took all the money out of her bank account today. My truck is gone from the airport. She went to the airport and got it. I just flew in from Dallas. Houston and Dallas. So
where's your truck?
I don't know. Okay. A friend of mine's truck picked me up. I went to the CSI to file a report, which is the Community Bridges or something. File a report.
So you did the petition?
Yeah, they ordered a pickup.
Okay. What time did you do that?
Hour and a half ago.
Okay. So what makes her a danger to herself and to others?
She threatened me, murder me, kill me.
She threatened to murder you?
Yes. And she.
Okay. Right here. I think the week later he was gone. Right here. He's telling these people what she's doing. She's a danger. 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 They didn't listen.
How did she do that?
My bishop right there is in the car. He was on the phone with me today when she said, "I will have you destroyed." Is what she said there.
Okay, that's not a threat to kill you.
Yesterday was a threat to kill me.
Okay. What did she say yesterday?
She said, "You're not Charles. I don't know who you are, what you did with Charles, but I can murder you now with my powers."
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Says I'm gonna kill you too. Yesterday was
So she's speaking as a spiritual being.
She's not here. She's lost her reality.
Is this just all recent, or has it been going on?
It's been going on for about 4 or 5 years. It's gotten really, really bad lately. She goes to the temple every day and speaks with Moroni and Jesus Christ, and they tell her what to do. And now she came to her today, and last couple of days she says, "I'm not Charles. You're not Charles. You're Nick Schneider."
Yep.
I don't know where she gets his names from. She got all this stuff from these people in Utah who tell her how many past lives she's had and probation she's had. And she's was married to Moroni way back when. And
so when you came back, why didn't you just go to the home?
Because she told me not to come near it. All my stuff is gone. Okay. I'm not stupid. She could have done anything.
Okay.
I thought this would be the best way to do it. With what she's gone through and what Gabe witnessed with me on the phone today, I thought it was best to have her. She's psychologically, she's gone. Something's happened to her.
How old is she?
45.
45.
beautiful woman.
So if we talk to her, is she going to be able to have a rational conversation with us?
Of course she will. I'm sure she will.
Okay.
Yeah, she's just.
She'll probably tell me I'm crazy, huh? Is that what you suspect?
Probably. Okay. You're a dark spirit. That's what she's going to tell you.
Okay.
I'm a dark spirit. Gabe's with me. He's our bishop. He's going to be a dark spirit. Whatever that means. You're evil.
And you said this has been going on for like 4 years?
Well, it's to an extent, but it's gotten really bad the last several months. And I've been trying to ignore it because hoping it'll get better.
Is she on any medications?
No. She won't do medications.
Has she been to a doctor?
No, she won't go to the doctor because she's a translated being, and they would find out that she's translated.
She's a translated being, guys.
And that's what she thinks?
Yes.
Okay. Has she made any statements about wanting to hurt the children or anything?
Today she said with Gabe on the phone, come take the kids. I don't care what happens to them. Come take them.
Okay, but she didn't make a direct threat towards kids.
No, not a direct threat.
Okay. And then she said that she would murder you through...
Mandy, when I first covered this case a few years back, I went look at Moroni and all of this stuff about the angels, and I had all of that down. But yep, that's who he is. This woman is psycho in all these past lives, and she and Charles have been married at least 7 or 8 times. That Charles, Chad.
A spiritual...
No, she said, I can murder you.
I can murder you. And she's talking in a spirit...
I will kill you.
Spiritual...
No, she's talking physically. I will kill you because you're not Charles, and nobody will care.
Okay, so she at this point doesn't think you are her husband?
She thinks I'm Mick Schneider.
Who's Mick Schneider?
I have no idea.
Okay.
It's the name she used. I don't know where it came from.
Okay.
I'm just like, I'm as bewildered as you are. This is so foreign to me. Normal people as far as I'm concerned, but this happens, it just drives me, I don't know what to do. I need help, and she needs help. She needs help.
And you just didn't want to go inside because of the statements that she made?
She took my car and I suspect she took my car and my keys. I have no keys to get in.
Oh, okay.
No garage door opener.
Okay.
She knows what she's doing. She took $35,000 out of our bank account today. I can't make payroll Friday for my company. She changed our bank account numbers. I had to change it myself to get back in, and I saw all the money's gone. I've got $7 in my name.
$35,000.
What's your first name again?
Charles.
Charles lives here with his wife and 2 children. Charles was away on business.
Third nephew upstairs. His name is Zach. He's 19. He's our nephew. He's been staying with us.
Have you tried to call him?
Yeah, he won't call me back either.
Why won't he call you back?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's what I'm worried about. I hope they're okay, but I don't know.
It's valid.
All right. So his question is, he lives here. There's no orders against either one of them. If we can't make contact.
If he wants to let us in, now we're doing a 670 check.
I don't know how to get in. I can have to break a window. I can try to.
Where I was going with this, he was in Houston on a business trip, and then he flies back in to Sky Harbor, and his truck's gone. He suspects that she went there and took the truck. He doesn't know.
He used my wallet in it, so.
Right. So, all right. Is it this house or the one with the flashing lights?
Right there.
On the side of the road.
Oh, where those palm trees are?
Yeah.
You don't have a hidden key?
No, it's in the house.
So it's not hidden?
JJ can open it, but we have to keep those locks really tight.
Understand.
He's a runner.
Now, if you think about all of this, if the cops would have done something, that man would still be alive. Those 2 kids would still be alive. Chad Daybell's wife would still be alive. This is crazy. Yeah, but they broke away from the LDS church.
So the dog's gone too?
Obviously, he'd be barking. He doesn't bark much. He's a service dog. He's very well trained, but he would be barking. They wouldn't leave him here. He's a part of the family. So I'm going to go try the back door.
Take this down.
I'm going to break the window. Is that okay?
It's up to you if you want to break the window. If I was going to break something, I'd probably break your garage door, because you could still secure your garage. Once your window's broken, you can't secure it.
It's there. So there's just a big deadbolt here.
All right. Well,
kick it in. One swift kick will do it.
I'll do a mule kick. We'll try that first. You gotta get closer.
Ooh, he's hurting himself. Don't they have a battering ram that you hit the door with? They normally carry those in police cars. And that's what I just said, Snuggle. I think it would have been a whole lot different if they would have just listened to him.
Door, police. Somebody in the house.
They failed this man and those kids. She cleaned this house out.
All clear.
She said, take the kids, I don't care.
I don't care what happens to them. Take the kids, I don't care what happens to them.
Well, that's not a direct threat to harm.
I know.
Everything she said was, it sounded very carefully subjective.
But she won't contact me, won't tell me where they are. Is there something I can do about that? Because she's got a Infinity.
Did she say she was leaving or anything like that, or did she say anything like that?
In fact, she told you not to come back, is what she said.
Well, as a parent, she has the right to take her children, whether... As of right now, the statements that are listed in here are provided by you, which, to my understanding, you kind of overheard some of them. Okay. Did you hear her make statements of wanting to harm or kill herself? Did you hear any statements of her wanting to harm or kill Charles?
No, other than she used the word destroy, which again, subjective. She could have meant a number of things, obviously.
Okay.
The day before she said kill, she was going to wipe him out. When he was on the phone with the bishop, she said destroy. The woman made terroristic threats, period.
There was definitely nothing that would qualify as a terroristic threat.
Oh my God.
So she didn't say, I'm going to kill you or anything like that.
I told Tim I was going to, and the cop said, ma'am, have you finished smoking that cigarette? I said, yes. He said, could you turn around? That was a terroristic threat.
She didn't say she was going to kill herself or anything like that?
No.
Just some... Okay.
Just the irrational statements about calling him a different name and saying he was a different person. There was a level of disconnect from reality that was a bit disturbing. But that was, again, that's just my impression. I don't have anything substantial to back that up with just a quick conversation.
And when did you try to call the nephew?
10 times today.
Excuse me?
Last night, 10 times today.
Okay.
He won't
Tried to
answer.
call like 10 times
text.
today.
Look, here's his text. Last time he answered me was Tuesday.
But you were home Tuesday, right? Or you left Tuesday morning?
I left.
You left Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning. It was last Tuesday. Okay. Then yesterday, no word from him. No word from Tylee, my daughter.
Does your daughter live here too?
Yeah.
From what I'm gathering, correct me if I'm wrong, this is where I would go. First of all, we don't know if she took your truck. So you parked it at Sky Harbor on Tuesday morning. I would contact Phoenix Police, make a stolen vehicle report with them.
She took all my clothes out of my closet too, so this is what I got.
She took all his
Start
clothes.
with Phoenix PD, reporting your truck stolen. Okay. As for tonight, we don't have a crime. We tried to serve this during the course of doing a welfare check. Okay. All the doors were locked.
This can't be served again.
Hold on, time out. Let me finish. You gave him permission to force entry into your home. What I can do is I can do a special incident report documenting some of this information. Okay. As of right now, there is no crime. Okay. We attempted to conduct a welfare check here by speaking with your wife and also to serve this.
Pickup order, right?
2 separate calls. We classify it 2 separate calls. Okay. Normally, we don't do this after 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay. It's
a civil order, and we're not even allowed to serve a search warrant without a judge's specific order at nighttime. There has to be specific cause that says that this needs to be served at night for some reason. So those don't get served at night normally.
This falls into that criteria, same criteria. The only reason why we're here is some of the statements that you made towards our dispatchers that you provided to them, that he made the decision to come here to conduct a welfare check to make sure that your children are safe. Okay. Upon us being here, you give us permission to force entry into your home. That's got to be documented regardless. Okay. That covers our end. Okay. So what I can do is I can type out that special incident report. You'll have a report with Phoenix Police. Technically, I mean, at this point, you know, you can do a missing persons report, but it's, I mean,
she's taking my son out of school.
But we don't know that.
Well, even if she did, she has that legal right. She's the parent. She can do that. So we don't
permission. I mean,
she's the legal guardian of the child.
What can I do, guys? What can I do?
Like you said, you can file the police report with Phoenix. One way to try and get a response from one of them is say, hey, send a message to all of them saying, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. My truck was gone from the airport. I've reported it stolen to Phoenix Police Department. If you guys took it, you need to let me know. So, because what's going to end up happening is...
GPS, can I track it with that?
If you got OnStar or whatever, you can call them and find out. Yeah, whatever their version of that is, and you can find out where it's at, then that's completely up to you. But again, it's the only thing we're going to do, even if your reporter is missing, is if we find her, it's going to be, hey, are you missing? And she's going to say, nope.
What about the pickup order for tonight?
The pickup order is listed in our system. Okay. If we come across,
you hear that? He had a pickup order for her. A pickup order for her. It's a crime. It's stolen.
We can serve that to her and take her to Community Bridge. Okay. If she's found in Orange County, California, they're not going to take her to Community Bridge.
No, because it's the same thing.
Okay.
If they find her in Flagstaff, they're not going to do anything with it. They're going to bring her down there. They're just... That's an order.
Yep, like normal when
basically going to be held up around here in this area. They're not going to bring it down from anywhere else. So if they're somewhere else and they're long gone, there's, you know.
We understand you're in a tough situation and it's kind of alarming to you. We get that part. But what we're providing is what we can do on our end.
I'll report my car stolen from the airport and a missing persons report. And check with the school and tell them.
When you make that report, don't tell the officer who you're reporting, my wife took it, because we don't know that.
Okay.
Make sure that you explain to him that you suspect she did, and she's in the company with such and such, such and such. Make them know that you have a handicapped young child, because if it comes out stolen,
not handicapped,
you know, and she's just driving along, we don't want them to pursue the vehicle to, you know, we don't want to put your children in danger.
So she won't be in my truck.
But what I'm saying is just kind of, you know, let them know some of the information of what's going on. But we don't know if she took it.
Because Charles was no longer there. Ned Snyder was there. Charles was no longer there. That was Ned Snyder.
Know if it was actually
show up, just disappears. There's nothing I can do after a period of time when I can't see my son.
You'd have to go down to the court and file paperwork.
I'm going tomorrow to file paperwork for my son.
Whether it's divorce paperwork or custody or whatever.
This, I can give it to the attorney so we can file it for.
We can't give you a copy of that, no.
Okay.
You should be, if you contact community, you filled it out with Community Bridges, you can ask them what paperwork they can give you, but we can't release that paperwork.
You can pick her up
if we find her.
If I say she's here, come get her, you can do that?
Well, it depends on when you do it. If you find her at 4 o'clock in the morning.
No, 8 to 10.
Yeah.
a.m. 10.
If you find her in the morning and it's outside those nighttime exception hours, which is 10 o'clock at night till 6:30 in the morning, and somebody who finds her, they can take her. Like this case, when we came here to do the welfare check on the children, if we happen to come across her, we can serve it on her.
So that was that one with Charles. And then we have, they did a tribute to Charles on Facebook. And let me just show you this. I watched that yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, I think, yeah. Here we go. Here's the tribute to Charles. That's a good looking man. He looked way better than Chad Daybell. Oh.
When you would see him, he'd either have a...
Hold on.
He was sincere and genuine and the guy you'd want to hang around with. Positive, had a smile on his face.
Pat Daybell doesn't look
when you would
anything
see
like
him, he'd either have a joke or a story.
Yeah, real easy to talk to. We hung out at Lavaca Street. It's where we met Charles. We just decided to put together a softball city league team, and we'd go out and play every week and come back and have to recover from our game at the bar. So it was all fun.
He had lots of energy. He brought people in. You know, he just had a way of engaging, and his face would light up when he would see people that he knew or recognized. He just had a way of making you feel like he really cared. You know, I think that's why he did so well in our area, in our bank, because he, you know, we had an older clientele, and they really enjoyed working with him, and he made them feel, you know, very important, and always remembered small details about their life and those kinds of things.
He's just a very kind-hearted person, and if you were in his circle, he wanted to take care of you. And you know, Charles was very driven and very motivated, and wanted to be famous someday, and was going to be rich and famous.
Well,
and
he's famous.
None of us thought that this was how his life would be remembered.
That's what she did to that man. That man went to the police station, and I was trying to find the one when they actually picked her up. That's what I was trying to find, when they picked her up, and they had, okay, hold on. Here is the other one. Let me grab this. Hold on. Let me show you this one, and then I'm going to go. All right, here we go.
And try that license plate again.
KDM.
KDM.
62. It's KDM something.
KDM 62, 63,
Something like this.
67.
Handicap plate.
Handicap.
Yes.
Is it registered to you?
Yes.
Spell your last name again.
V as in Victor, A-L-L-O-W.
Vallow?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. That's an SUV that you're describing, right? Okay, I know what it is.
I'm going to go check and see if I can go in there, and I'll be right back. Okay, sir?
Okay. Also find out if they'll give you permission to go into that room.
I wonder how these cops feel. Because they could have prevented this.
That's why Team 1 wasn't able to get a hold of her. So we're not sure if she's here or not. He's thinking that he would be able to get in the room. And I said, that's up to you and that's up to the hotel. That's not what we do. So I told him that we're waiting for you with the paperwork, and that's what we've got going on right now. He thinks she's still staying here just for the reason is that he was able to grab that key out of her purse in the car at that school in Central area, wherever that school was. All right. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you just what
This is sad.
And the reason the 909 came out. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that.
Hi, Krista.
You know, how about we all meet back at the car? We are on the north side of that Home 2, which is just west of this building. It's the building west. It's the other hotel. We'll all meet right there. All right, we'll see you in a minute. Bye. Okay, so if his truck is gone, how did he get here?
I have no idea. He didn't tell me that. By the way, I have that tour at 10 o'clock.
Oh, okay. All right, well, we'll go. He wants a sidebar before we do it. Where did he go?
He went back in to find out whether or not they'll give him permission to enter into that room.
I don't want him going to that.
He's not going to the room.
Let's go back over to our cars. They'll be here in just a minute or two, and he wants we need to do a powwow.
Okay.
So.
Let me just, I'll meet you over there. I'm just going to tell him, if he's gone to the lobby, I just want him to know he needs to wait around here so we can find him.
The biggest thing, okay, so she wants to marry Moroni, which is great, fantastic, fine and dandy. That's not as bad as the UFO thing. Yeah, I'm going to go off.
Me too.
Okay, so they went off. Now, why would they go off? Why would they go off? Okay, this is the same one, but I was trying to find the one with Lori when they finally got her, and they were
and try that license plate again.
Her. Hold on. I think this is after the murder. No, this is her mental health evaluation. See, her daughter is there. Is this one after the murder?
No. When I talked to him, he was all upset, wondering what are we going to do about that. I have until it is verified by my sergeant that it's still active, they still want you. I can't hold you against your will. But if it's verified by my sergeant, which she says could take a little while, then if it is verified, then I have to take you to Community Bridges.
Thank you, Jen.
It's a mental health behavior place to get looked at. But while it's being verified, I have no right to keep you and hold you, just so you're aware. So he's supposedly en route with your purse and your phone, and then and the order also, which needs to be verified by my sergeant. So we will facilitate the transfer of the person and the phone, and while we go give the mental health petition to my sergeant, and she's verifying it, you do whatever you feel you need to do. Okay. How we're going to get that to go away, I do not know. You may need to you can probably contact Community Bridges, that's CBI. Community Bridges. We have one, I don't know if you even want to just go up there, at Mesa Drive and Baseline. It's off Javelina, which is the street before you get to you got your kids to school.
Right.
I don't know, but I'm not going to place that. I'm just going to let you know that we are required, if you're here, that we will, even with force if we have to, right. If you're still here when it's approved, we'll have to take you to CBI.
Okay. And what is it called? I was just going to write it down.
Community Bridges.
Okay.
That's where we take you. Now, I don't know who he went through to get the order taken care of.
That's what I'm saying. How do you even get that? He got that in the middle of the night? How do you get something in the middle of the night?
It's family members can do it for other ones who have like drug dependency or not getting help, mental health issues.
Yeah, but how would he get? He had to come here. Isn't stuff closed?
It's not here. There are places you can go. So.
You know how she sounds so sane?
I don't know. I don't know.
Sorry.
So.
It's called Community Bridges. Is that what you call it? I'm just going to write it down.
So
I don't know why her daughter is in there with her though. Yep, she's a master manipulator.
We don't bust down doors to get you, but we will knock. So if you see police officers knocking, talk to them through the door if you really don't want to go. Okay. If you want a free medical evaluation, psychological evaluation.
I haven't gotten any sleep in about 2
I just got chills thinking how this woman could have been stopped. This man tried everything to get this woman the help she needed.
3 days. They have good facilities.
They do, actually, from what I understand.
And a gym where I can work out.
Yeah, so
kind of happy.
Like I said,
you'll be okay without your mama.
You are going to get a padded room.
So officers don't kick down doors to serve these. They're civil orders. Right. They're for your safety. It's not illegal. If it was because you're a danger to yourself, it's not illegal to kill yourself. So we don't go busting down doors. But if we make contact with you, there's nothing separating us. At that point, we know it's you.
You want about someone and get a mental health order against them?
Not so if it's a family member, and depending on what he told the doctors, they'll do it just to be safe. Otherwise, say something happens to you,
or something,
right?
Get it.
So something happens, you do something to yourself, he's going to go after those doctors. I told you, you didn't sign the order, she should have gotten help, that sort of thing. So there becomes some liability.
Do you know what he said?
No.
No?
1 Frank 17. 10:50.
I still don't understand why her daughter is there.
Edgar 206.
Is that her son sitting there?
Yeah, I was talking to someone, that's why I didn't answer.
No, that's too big to be her son. That's Kaylee, or Tylee. Who is that
we're
right
aware.
there?
Let me step out. I'll talk to you. All right. Excuse me for a second.
Yeah.
I will come with you.
10-4. No, you can entertain them.
Is that a friend of hers, maybe?
Got any knock-knock jokes?
He dances really nice.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Get like a little performance.
Here we go.
Show us
Okay.
your equipment.
Yes, exactly. That's what he did.
She's now a high school graduate, right?
And my thing
Yeah,
is, they're taking this as a joke. I looked at this man.
You really want to be a police
He's
officer?
tall for JJ. Looks like a
Maybe.
woman.
You never know.
We'll look forward to this stuff.
I
man.
saw this man shaking.
I'm
in his
actually
body
pretty
cam.
new myself, so I just got on. It's like my first month on training after
He
out of
was
the academy,
shaking.
so that's why he's doing a lot of the talking.
But you deal with so many different officers.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, so it's because, like, honestly, this is kind of a more
They're not
unique
taking
call
this
than what I've seen.
seriously.
This is a little bit different. I mean, like, well, and what's unique about it is either the theft or the petition was usually a separate deal. I mean, the fact that all of a sudden he stole your phone and then all of a sudden there's a petition out there too, it's like, well, so I've seen one or the other. I haven't seen both of them.
Well, that's what he was saying then when he texted you that. I'm so sorry I had to do it. I was worried about you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm
Like,
at.
he literally hadn't seen JJ for like 6 hours, and he'd been at school, so it's not like he was in any kind of...
Well, he was out of town, too.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's a good thing you did come in because it would be a very one-sided story. So it's always good to kind of see what's going on.
Yeah, it was very smart. Yeah, and Jason's sweet.
What was
You
really
have
cool
to tell
because
me
I
I love
was,
him.
so I was sitting there in the, coming out of her neighborhood after he conned me to go to the house, and I pulled over, by the pool, and then I see this guy that I know, just like
Our good friend.
just
who's a
just
police
like
officer.
right in front of me on the side of the road, and I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
that looks like Jason. I'm like, hold on, that's Jason. He's a police guy. I'm gonna go. So I'm like, Jason, what are you doing over here?
Listen to this.
Oh yeah.
Like, hey,
She's manipulating the hell out of them.
I mean, I was going to do it after he took it, and I realized.
And I
it's
really
not
want to
when I got
know
into the car,
all
like,
of those
he's lurking
officers
around here.
that
Like,
have
he's
dealt
creepy
with
by
this
himself.
psychopath.
Too, like,
How are they feeling?
everything I have.
Knowing
I don't have anything. I don't have money,
Tylee
I
was
don't have
sitting
ID, I don't
in
have
there.
anything.
It could
And
be
so
Melanie.
Marcus
You're
and I
right.
really
It could be her
attached.
niece.
Yeah, but I carried him in my hand.
Because he said he was calling his nephew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go to school.
It could be Melanie.
On the
You're,
ground.
you're right.
Yeah.
So it was a rough morning as it was.
Yeah.
Because the other,
So
the
do
other
you guys have separate
Melanie
cars?
lived in another state.
What car does he drive?
So he has
So it could be her niece Melanie.
Oh, okay. So then the white Suburban, you had no idea what that was?
That was his buddy's car. He said.
He
His
said it was
buddy's
his
car.
buddy's car.
That's
He
what
doesn't
he
have
said.
I never
He
thought
has
about that.
his
Yep, it could be
buddy's car.
Melanie.
It's a white Suburban. I didn't know because it was two
I would
other
think
guys
it would
in
be
the
a rental
driveway, but then
car.
when I came back, he was gone, and I know it was his car because the other, the guys fixed
Right.
it.
See, but that's
So
Tylee.
still there, so I know it was that.
Right? Oh, that's Tylee.
Oh.
And that one by the
That's
door. I
really
think
strange.
is
So what kind of
Melanie.
questions?
Changed the locks on me. I'm on the lease as well, the house.
Yeah, I don't think so. Honestly, I have to obviously confirm with him, but to be honest with you, you should be able to have access to it as well if it's your house.
So he's
in
changed
my
them all.
name,
They're all
too.
changed probably by now.
Yeah, he's trying to lock me out. To
4 people lost their lives.
Yeah, I assume it would just because how we were
Melanie's
saying you need to build it or
ex-husband
he needs
was
to build to
shot
get in the
at.
house. It should be the same.
Right,
So
so I can kick the door down too.
yeah.
All for money.
I don't know. I think
After
so.
it gets fixed.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in there if he's in there. That's the whole point. That's why I left.
No,
Yeah.
it was creepy, you know, I was like, oh my
Yep, it's probably Melanie.
You know, I thought you were there. I was so freaky.
Because Melanie's
So glad
tall.
those two other guys were there.
Yeah, I know that you weren't just there by yourself with him. That'd be even worse.
I should have, like, in retrospect, I probably should have walked away quickly.
I'm thinking that's Tylee because she's kind of heavy.
Yeah, I mean, who really
Melanie's
is?
You were just being a
thin.
good friend to me, so I appreciate it. I'm sorry that you're caught up in it. And he's
being
catching
deceived.
up everybody in it. He calls everybody on my phone, so now he has phone access to all my friends, and he's calling them all to tell them how crazy I am and whatever, because he got snagged, you know.
And this is just a recent thing? Has he done this before, or like?
This is in like 24 hours. Like, or he's done stuff
Like, has he done this before? Yeah.
But this whole
Not this
situation
extreme,
happened.
No.
but he's been ballistic where we had to leave because he was being awful.
See, you listen to that? She had to leave because he was. So why did you take his clothes? Why did you take his truck from the airport? Why didn't you just leave with the kids? You're making it sound like this man was doing something to you when he was out of town. Girl, stop.
3 or 4 times that I can remember.
Yeah, 13 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
So really just a stand-up guy overall.
Hey, I'm not making any judgments. But,
I know you have been neutral, get it. I know, it's super awkward.
okay, so they got him in there, and they got you. Perfect. I'll just get. Well, I already got your information, so we're good there.
So basically,
How do you even know to get a mental health thing? I don't even know how he would know how to do that.
Is that your daughter's phone? I'm assuming.
No, it's my mom's old broken phone.
Oh,
I
you
put a
were
SIM
using her
card
phone?
in. I went and
Okay.
bought a SIM card today and put it in so I would
Okay.
have something.
Yeah, no, yeah, you can't go without a phone
You
now.
just can't.
yeah, is there any phone numbers you need that are my phone? You don't put
Probably.
Since you don't have access
Yeah,
to
I probably
phone
would need.
numbers?
I don't have phone numbers. I have my mom's old phone numbers. So I have family members, but not any of my friends.
You don't have that information.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put Jason and Thor and all our people.
Yeah, my friends.
This is crazy.
So were you there with them when this was going on? Were you were there in the car or no?
No, she was at the hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, you're.
See, that's
Give me your
Tylee.
info. What's your first and last name?
See, Tylee. He's writing it down. That's Tylee.
A different last name?
Yeah, so he's my stepdad.
Okay.
I knew that was Tylee right there. She's heavy.
Okay. And then do you live at the house full time
Mhm.
with them? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. What's your date of birth? Cool. Yeah, because this one we entered, and I'll need that.
So
info.
she's deceased.
So no big deal
Charles is
there.
deceased.
Well, yeah, it takes us a while to verify the order, so that's kind of like, yeah, so as long as the order's not verified, we can't serve it, so.
And is he over, he'll be.
They had the orders in their hand that night. What do you mean they can't verify?
Oh, yeah, well,
It
I
has
think
to
we'll
be
probably
the
facilitate
system.
it, so, I mean, either way, yeah. I'm
Or
not sure
maybe it was a
exactly.
different county.
And in the scenario
Just
that
give me
she,
the first with nothing in it, sorry.
in the scenario that she has to go with like my little brother, would he be like ordered to pick him up from school and take him? Like,
Who
there's no
the,
court order, but like I
yeah.
know, yeah.
are you saying, is Charles supposed to pick him up? Or are you saying, can you guys pick him up?
I think she was brainwashing her daughter too. Listen to what she's saying. I think she was brainwashing Tylee. The whole time she's brainwashing this child.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying.
Like, who's gonna pick him up?
If could I pick him up and take him back to like the hotel?
Oh, yeah, I don't think that even
Okay.
matters. Yeah, I don't think. Whatever you guys got to work out, I think. I don't know what you're planning on doing about. So, because you're kind of saying you only want like a report, but is this going to be like an ongoing thing? Like, is this like, are you concerned about getting back in the house? Like, what's the game plan?
Well, now we are.
Yeah.
Now we are that we know we changed all the locks.
Yeah.
So we don't know what to do, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Well,
don't
2
know.
days ago, he was like, if you want me to leave, I'll leave, all real super nice, and then when I actually had evidence, then he got really mad.
So this all stems from him cheating and you finding out about it?
You hear that?
Yeah. All right, well.
He was cheating and she found out about it. Do you hear this lie?
I think everyone's kind of learning a little bit on this one, so I can't even tell you what I think is going to happen. We'll see.
It's just a sad scenario as usual.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. What school do you go to?
She graduated.
I just
Oh, you just graduated. You got your GED.
Yeah.
Also, what are you gonna do now? Because you got a few years before you be a police officer.
Yeah, I might start community college classes and then eventually transfer over to a university. But
she's working that. She's working right
yeah,
now.
and I'm working.
Oh, okay.
But
Where at? Oh, nice.
Yep.
Good. As long as you're good at talking to people, that's pretty much a lot of the job. Seems like.
Yes, it's actually a good experience to be in here so you can learn what they do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not chasing people down and beating them up. And
There's a little bit of that. Not as much in Gilbert, I don't think. I mean, I haven't done too much of that
not
lately.
as much as like in Phoenix.
Right.
Yeah, our friend was downtown Phoenix police officer, and he talks a lot of those stories.
So your buddy Jason, you're saying,
Jason
is he
Mao.
Phoenix? That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah,
He had an incredible case where when he was taking the bad guy down, his hamstrings pulled off his legs or hip, and he was completely taken.
His hamstrings or the guy he was taking down?
No, his own.
Oh.
And so he can no longer perform as a police officer because of that.
Wow.
It took his life. It took his ability to work.
Wow. How long was he on?
He was on his bed for 3 years.
It took him 3 years
Oh,
to.
His story is really incredible.
It is an incredible story. It took him 3 years to walk again, but the police department said it was a
This is crazy.
Pre-existing.
But this is what happened.
Yeah.
Charles was in there.
Sitting there in your police car, and as he pulls off on a hot summer day to go chase this bad guy, you know, and then you don't go to work with.
She sounds sane.
He couldn't even walk like for 3
So
years.
he's actually been supporting police officers and helping them because they haven't been getting their rights.
Nice.
He's for.
I've seen that a while back. I don't remember how long ago though.
Wow.
But I know I've seen it. I know I've seen that interview with her too. But this is crazy. This is psycho. This could have been handled differently. But there's only so much they can do, I understand, within the law. But now that you think about the lives that were lost and all of these cops that were involved, it's sad. It's really, really sad. But anyway, I just can't. I'm going to go and I got to get some stuff done, but I will go. And Amber has a live set on Rumble. Oh, shit. It's, I saw it because I was looking to see if George went live. And I know Amber has a live set on Rumble. So I'll share it on my community tab. Because when I was looking to see if George went live, I saw his community post saying he was going to go live on Rumble. I guess it was yesterday. But when I went and looked, I didn't see anything. But you guys have a great day. And I'm going to listen to Lori Daybell for a little bit. And see what craziness is going on in the courtroom today. So you guys have a great day. I appreciate each and every one of you. And bye. So Wisco Gal, I'm going to find that interview and we can watch it at a later date. But I have to go now. Have a great day, guys. And Jen, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it.